Now, the rest of the story.
Alright, welcome back. I figured you guys would want to ride along for a little bit. So I'm doing the first of our last cutting, round baling for the year. This is all I got. That's about 5 acres. Dad and I came out earlier. We're gonna start raking everything up because we do have, 20, 30 acres or so. I don't exactly know the exact amount of acres that we cut that first day. But all I know is that once we went out and started raking, the sky got kind of ugly looking back there, and we opted to just rake this because what happened was, by the time I got back to the buildings, I already had the baler hooked up, but I had to service it, grease it, and blow all the dirt and dust off of it from second crop. We did have a little bit of a shower come through. Not a lot, but literally just the bare minimum amount of rain or sprinkles or whatever you want to call it, moisture, to kind of steer us away from wanting to go out and start trying to bale. So we've been working on some other things. I actually did some more work to the round baler. I had some net wrap that was built up on the outside roller back on the net wrap compartment, which is always kind of a pain. It always catches back there. And it is currently 5 o'clock at night. We came out, checked it. It does have a little bit of greenness to it, but it's not wet. And it seems how we keep checking our phones and our weather apps, and they constantly change every single time you open it up. And the weatherman on the radio said that they're calling for not just rain tomorrow, they're calling for thunderstorms, thunder showers tomorrow and the next day. So it was kind of well, that's exactly what this is. It's a management decision where we already got it raked. It's been on the ground for 5 days. It was dry. It would have been great if we could have gotten everything baled without it getting any rain on it. And the idea of having to come back out and ted all this back out again, because we went and tedded it out when I cut it. But nobody really wants to go through and have to burn the time and fuel to come back out, ted this out, let it dry, rake it up, and then come out and try baling it. So we are sitting on 15 bales. I'm over 3/4 of the way done. For where I was at, when I was halfway done with this, I had right around 10 or 11 bales, give or take. And the way this is yielding, this is actually outperforming making only half of this field, baling it up. For third crop, actually outdid the number of bales we got off of first and second crop combined. Because what did we get? We had what, 5 or 6 first cut. We've had 3 for second cut. But then here's the thing, we had Andrew come through and he sprayed a bunch of fertilizer, and I think it's also radiate onto our week-old third crop regrowth that was coming up, and it had, oops, wrong way. It had about 60 days to grow because we made second crop the second week of July. It's currently September, the first week of September. And I don't know if it's just from what Andrew sprayed, the fact that we've had more than enough moisture to grow this stuff, or the fact that it really hasn't been all hot and muggy and humid. So I don't know what all the factors are going into play here to make this crop grow as nice as it does. I will say, for how this stuff is yielding, for the amount of material that was here, I can say that for the amount of hay that is left to cut, for how heavy some of that material was when I cut it, even compared to how heavy this stuff was, I'm almost thinking that our third cutting is going to consist of about 300 bales. If not 300, awfully close. Because I'll probably have, what are we at? 16. Britt looking for me. 16 right now. I'll probably have easily 20, if not a little bit more, because I have some waterways to do. Everything out at Ryan's place is probably going to be 50 plus everything down at my place, which is probably going to run somewhere in that probably 20 to 30 bale range, just because the waterways are like chest high on me too. And then that video that I made the other night where I was cutting that pasture stuff off, that stuff is going to be super duper heavy, because I'm already figuring this stuff is running right around 2.5 ton to the acre. That some of this other stuff that we have to make yet, I'm willing to bet it's easily going to be over 3, easily. So just from what it was dropping out of the back of the machine and of the disc spine when I was cutting it, and how heavy the stuff was, just trying to walk through it was kind of a hassle. So as far as the feed issue anymore, I don't think we're going to have any more videos labeled the video or the feed issue for the year, because I don't think feed's going to be a problem. My only problem is we still have a bunch to cut yet, because we thought this week was going to be nothing but sunshine. So I don't know if that's kind of a good thing. And cross our fingers and hope that the later second half of September is drier and warmer. And try to get everything cut and baled and put up for good quality. And I'm not saying this stuff's gonna be bad quality, but when I say good, awesome quality, I'm thinking had 0 rain on it from the time that it was dropped onto the ground to the time that you tuck it away in the machine shed. That makes some beautiful feed. It's kind of like candy, depending on who you're feeding it to. The calves love it. Even grass. Yeah, we do try to do the alfalfa in the fields, but I've been making a lot of grass off the pastures here the last few years. And just seeing for how the cattle, the cows and the feeder calves run towards the grass bales compared to just feeding them like alfalfa bales, I think that says a little bit of something as far as going to the trouble of making up our waterways and making our pastures that we can at least make. Because alfalfa is really better for the dairy guys. Somebody's looking for me. So, yeah. I'm glad at least we're getting something baled up. Baler's running awesome. For being as old of a machine as it is, I don't know what year it is. It's a 566. And the only thing that really sticks out to me that I should probably address before next year is probably going to be this farther belt on the machine. It actually has a couple holes in it because I made corn fodder last year and the fodder kind of built up on it and kind of tore it a little bit. But as long as I can do what I have to for the time being, especially for the hay, isn't going to be an issue. I do have a spare back in the buildings, but I'm trying to get as much use out of this one as I possibly can. And I was going to give you a shot at Dad and Ryan, what they were up to. They're hauling everything in and stacking it away right now. So I guess you can say things are picking up. The combine's slowing down. We put a bunch of the chains and the shields back on it this morning, or at least Dad did. Ryan did. One big job left on the combine other than that auger, and we'll be pretty well done as far as that goes. But I'd say we got at least a week of dealing with hay, at least, just with logistics and getting between the farms and moving everything where it needs to go. So, alright, I'm zoning out because I need to watch what I'm doing here, trying to pick up the last of this. So yeah, you guys looking forward to riding along a bunch more going forward here, if I can do any videos raking hay or not. But we got to bale a bunch, I got to cut some more, Ryan has to cut a bit, and get all the haying equipment put away, which pretty much just amounts to the 735 for right now. And I gotta do some teeth in the baler too. Not looking forward to that. So alright, thanks for riding along, thanks for listening, thanks for tuning in. Take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll be talking to you guys next time.